What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to say if you're a fan of those legends of the game, I would definitely recommend subscribing to the channel because that's literally all I focus on. Also, guys, if this is content that you enjoy, I would greatly appreciate if you'd posterize that like button. And with that being said, guys, let's get right into today's video. So today we're going to be doing a build on Reggie Lewis. It was actually a request that we had. And guys, if you've if you've not read or watched videos on the story of Reggie Lewis, um, it was a very tragic story. He was just coming into his own. I really feel like he was going to be a star in this league, and then tragedy struck. So if that's something that you may want to watch videos on or anything like that, or maybe you want to read up on it, I would definitely recommend doing that, especially if you've not heard about it. It's real tragic, and it's very unfortunate. It's not something I'm really going to go into on this channel. But yeah, I'm just letting you know if you've not read about it or if you've not heard about it or anything like that, and you're curious or something, I would definitely recommend just looking it up because it's one of those things that it's just very tragic, and it's a very unfortunate thing that happened. So we're gonna go ahead. We'll get right into this build. So there's a couple different pie charts, guys, that you could really use for this. You could go the mostly shooting with a little bit less finishing, or the mostly finishing with a little bit less shooting. Me personally, though, I'm going to go with the Hall of Fame shooting and finishing. I feel like that worked really, really well for me. And anytime, guys, that um, anytime you're doing a build that involves shooting, I would just recommend, unless you're doing a center or a power forward, I would just recommend going with the speed because the unfortunate thing about having shooting is it kills your speed. It just kills it, and so I would definitely recommend going with that. Um, Now for our attributes, guys, we're going to go ahead. We're going to max out our close shot, our driving layup, and our driving dunk. And we're going to take our standing dunk just to 44, and that's just to get that 13th finishing badge. And then we're going to max out our mid range, our 3-point shot, and then we're going to take our free throw to 87, which is just one shy of the max. And then we're going to max out our post fade. And then we're going to go ahead, we're going to max out our pass accuracy, our ball handling, and then we're going to take this just to 37 just to get that 13th playmaking badge. And then we're going to go ahead and max out our perimeter defense, our lateral quickness, our steal. And then we're going to put this last bit on our rebounding, and we should get 5. So we got 5 defensive rebounding badges. Body shape, it really doesn't matter. It's whatever you prefer. We're going to go 6'7", and of course the weight is 195. Now on the wingspan, guys, here's the way that I would play this. Okay, I would just take it up just one, just to where you get the pluses across the board, but you don't get any minuses or you don't lose anything. So let's look where we're at with this. Okay, so we know that we're going to get a +4 to all of our attributes. Once we max this build out at 99. So we're going to have a 94 close shot, an 83 driving layup and driving dunk. So you're going to be able to finish around the basket really, really well. But if you look, guys, you're going to have a really, really good mid-range at 82, a solid 3-point shot at 80 with a 91 free throw and post fade. So you're going to be able to shoot really, really well with this build also. And you're going to have a 79 pass accuracy with a 75 ball handle, which is really good as well because I believe in this game at 75 there are some dribbling packages that you can use. So that's definitely good that you'll be able to get that. And then you also have a pretty decent perimeter defense of 77 with a lateral quickness of 76 and a steal of 77 as well. And you'll have a solid defensive rebound for a shooting guard of 72. So that's pretty good, right? Now for the takeover, guys, it's really, you could pick whatever you want. Me personally, I feel like slasher is the way to go. It's such an overpowered, takeover. And if you look at that, guys, you've built a mid interior facilitator, which that's also it's a rare build. You don't really see that a lot. And it's also a little bit of a catfish build too, because you, you're going to have that slasher takeover, but you're going to be able to shoot really, really well also. So a lot of people aren't going to really expect that. And you've got that cool name that you're not going to see this name very often in the park, I don't believe. But we'll go ahead and we'll test this, and then we'll get you guys out of here. So we're going to max this out. And for our finishing badges, guys, I always recommend Fearless Finisher, Posterizer on a guard build, simply because those two, I feel like they're so overpowered. They're so good. And then the other two guys that I would go with Acrobat, and you could do Slithery Finisher as well. Now, if you wanted to, do Slithery Finisher on Hall of Fame and Acrobat on bronze, you could certainly do that as well. It's just this is what I used, and I liked it. I liked the way it worked out. It seemed to do pretty good. Another one that I liked, and I did use it as well, is that I used Limitless Takeoff as opposed to Acrobat. That was a little bit of fun too, because it did help you when you were wanting to dunk and things. So, and then guys, for your shooting, as always, Hot Zone Hunter, Limitless Spot Up. You want both of those on Hall of Fame. I feel like those are just the two of the best shooting badges. Period. I would say do Fade Ace on Hall of Fame as well as Deadeye and Blinders. And then for the final two guys, I mean, it's up to you and how you want to play with this build. If you wanted to do stop and pop, you could. I just feel like catch and shoot's really good. It worked really, really good for me with this. And then I also liked corner specialist. And then for the playmaking guys, I feel like Unpluckable is a must with this build. I also like Space Creator, Quick First Step. Glue Hands is really, really good. Bailout is another good one. I feel like you want that always. And what I've done is I've just did these on bronze, and that way we could also go ahead and you could get Bullet Passer as well. And you could also get Needle Threader or Handles for Days or Tight Handles. Just really whatever you want to do on this build, whichever works best with your play style, I would recommend going with that. And then you do have 5 defensive and rebounding badges, guys. So for this, you could go a couple different ways. You could put clamps on gold, Intimidator, or Interceptor and Intimidator rather on bronze, or, and this is the way that I did this, is I did bronze clamps, bronze Interceptor, Intimidator, Rebound Chaser, and then for the last one, I also did Pickpocket. I just felt like having those extra badges, even though they were only bronze, it made this a much more complete build on defense and made it better. But again, if that's something that doesn't work for you, just switch it up and find what you like. Okay. There you have it, guys. I mean, I feel like this is a really, really strong Reggie Lewis build. And guys, if you've never seen Reggie Lewis play, I mean, because look, the guy played 5 seasons, and early on he was with guys like Bird and McHale, players like that. So he wasn't getting a ton of minutes. They were doing a majority of the lifting, and so he wasn't getting a lot of points. But by his fourth and fifth season, I mean, he was averaging over 20 points per game. He made an All-Star game, so he was really coming into his own. So if you've never seen him play, I mean, definitely go watch because he was a really, really solid player. With that being said, guys, if you enjoyed today's content, I would greatly appreciate if you'd posterize that like button. If you've not subscribed to the channel yet, I would recommend that, especially if you enjoy those legends of the game. And have a wonderful day, night, evening, wherever you are. Have a good one.